Hey, it's your favorite marketing project manager, girly, and the host of Operations Unfiltered podcast, Zuryna. You guys know I'm all about making sure you've got the right people, processes, and tools to succeed. And that includes taking care of you, too. If you're in the Laurel, Maryland area, you need to visit a Rose Wellness Bar. It's the place where skincare meets soul care. If you're feeling run down, your skin's breaking out, or you just need a moment to breathe, this is your sign to do just that. At a Rose Wellness Bar, they do luxury facials, including microneedling, dermaplaning, and even LED light therapy. You name it, they do it. But what really sets them apart from the rest, they combine skincare and licensed therapy in the same peaceful space. It's about more than just glowing up, it's healing from the inside out. So if you're trying to get your skin right, trying to manage your anxiety, or simply just craving a quick reset, check out a Rose Wellness Bar. That's arosewellnessbar.com and tell them Lady Z sent you. Because wellness isn't a luxury, it's a priority. Now let's get started on this week's episode. Welcome to Operations Unfiltered, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of influencer and talent management. I'm your host, Zuryna, and today is a really special episode. I'll be joined by the founder and creator of Ty's Garden. Ty's Garden is an organization located in the DMV. Her specialty is holistic wellness events, everything from dry vegan brunches to journaling sessions, even a walking group. In this day and age where anxiety is high, depression is high, and it's hard to make friends, I thought, why not chat with someone who's making waves in this space? She's curating events, selling products, working a full-time job. How does she manage to do all this and post on Instagram like she's supposed to? Don't worry, we did a deep dive into all the things, and we talked about how to have a work-life balance while managing so many different things. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Operations Unfiltered. Thank you so much for joining me. I always love meeting with entrepreneurs, especially my women entrepreneurs, because I feel like we're our own little sisterhood. But welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Can you give us a little bit of an intro about who you are and your business?
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Tyra Sellers. I am 29 years old and I am from Bowie, Maryland. I
Yay.
grew up in the DMV area. I went to Morgan State University for undergrad and studied health education, and
Love
then
it.
to the University of Maryland to get my master's in public health. I also just ended up staying in the DMV area, to be honest. I have never lived elsewhere. This is home for me. There's no place like the DMV, to be honest. So outside of that, I do work full time. I have
Come
been,
on, we love multiple
yes,
hats. Yes, entrepreneur, and you work.
yes, I will have a 9 to 5. I've been working in healthcare for 7 years now. And that honestly led me to my passion outside of just professionally into the healthcare, health and wellness space. So, outside of my business, Ty's Garden, I do help people professionally. And I also just have a passion for wellness. And I can share a little bit about how I got started with that too.
Yeah.
Ty's Garden, my business
I
is
was gonna say, because I want to know how you came. Well, of course, your name is Tyra, but talk to me about what that name means and what does it symbolize for you?
Yeah, so Ty's Garden, when I originally made my business and was thinking about starting a business back in 2020 when we were all in quarantine,
Yeah.
I needed an outlet. And I was like, I need something that's going to keep me creative. I need something that is going to keep me inspired.
Mhm.
So when I thought about a place where I felt the most at peace, where I felt the most growth, even for myself, even as a child, I thought about a garden. So
Yeah.
my mom used to have a garden in our backyard. My grandmother has one of the best lawns on the block. So
I know that's right.
she has one of the best lawns on the block. So a garden for me was just always a place for growth and tranquility, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll just name it Ty's Garden, a place where you just feel loved and, at peace, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I really just started out wanting to sell like products, herbal tea,
Mhm.
oils, body butters. And I really just honed in on tea, wellness tea. So I do have four wellness tea lines now. So
Oh, come on. I didn't even know that. I'm gonna have to go do my research because I'm in my tea era. I'm trying to slow down on the coffee, so I will have to pick that up.
Yes, so tea is, I love tea. I love matcha. I love green tea. I love lemon, ginger, jasmine. So the four teas that I do have, one is a jasmine tea, one is a herbal detox tea, a green tea. One is a energizing infusion tea. So it is kind of like a pick me up, which you can
Yeah.
like swap
In the
out.
mornings to replace my coffee with.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. My
Okay.
one is a immune booster. So that one helps you lift up your immune system, and it's just great for something feel good, something opposite than like green tea or
Yeah. So you went from just the products to now you're into events. I saw that the word that you use are self-care and community wellness, which I absolutely love that. So talk a little bit more about what that looks like and how you've infused the Ties Garden mantra into these events.
absolutely. So I will say I would have never thought that I would be curating and hosting wellness events.
Yeah.
I started off only wanting to sell products. And after a while, to be honest, as you grow into your business, because this is essentially my fifth year, but this is my second year doing events,
Hmm.
felt like something was missing. I was just like, I have a service element in me. I have a party planner, a coordinator,
Organizer.
organizer bug in me. And even just personally outside of just my business, like I do plan events for my family, for my friends. I love just having all the madness come together and making something beautiful for people
Yeah.
to enjoy themselves. So I was just like, let me try to do an event that is, wellness based. So my very first event was a trauma informed yoga class that was located in Baltimore at a dance studio. And that was really powerful because we actually did journaling, and then we actually just did a lot of deep breathing and movements that allow your body to relax from any, pain that might be in your neck and your stomach and your legs.
Yeah.
Like
That is
a lot
so
of times we're
important.
carrying, yes, a lot of times we're carrying like pain and energy in our muscles that we don't know how to release. So there are certain movements that just tap into your mindset to help you, become stronger in that moment and also release tension as well.
I love that so much, and I'm unpacking this in therapy now. I never realized how much stress and tension I hold in my jaw, and doing that so
Yeah.
long over time definitely it doesn't do well for you. So I love spaces like that, and I love that you're curating that. So what events do you have coming up down the pipeline? Because I'm interested, I'm intrigued, and I love this wellness aspect.
Thank you. Yes. So over time, again, Ty's Garden has evolved into community wellness. So I am primarily based in the DMV.
Hmm.
Recently, I have been doing a lot of speaking engagements for wellness events. So I do guide a lot of conversations regarding the importance of social wellness and the importance of having a community in general. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what Ty's Garden is. So moving forward, I do have a Rooted in Friendship series that is in partnership with a local organization, nonprofit that allows you to get out of your comfort zone and meet new friends in a new city.
Yeah.
So it's Houston, Philly, Charlotte, here in the DMV, Baltimore. So we are taking off in Philly actually tomorrow
Oh,
for
wow.
our
Perfect timing.
our first Rooted in Friendship event, and that is actually a springtime wellness social. So
Mhm.
in that event, we will have an opportunity to make a floral arrangement, journaling as well, a wellness walk. We'll have some mocktails, good conversation. And it's just all of my events are surrounding one, you should be able to meet an intentional connection, someone new. You should
Mm.
be able to tap into your inner child some way or another through activities, small activities, just feel
Yeah.
good. And you should just be able to have a good time, have some self-reflection. I also have a vegan brunch on Sunday, so I'll be going
Oh,
to
wow. This is a jam-packed weekend. I'm loving this.
Yeah, I'll be going to Philly and coming right back to DC. And the brunch on Sunday is actually a dry brunch. So it's an alcohol-free bar located
Oh, wow.
H Street. Yes, located on H Street in DC called Binge Bar. And that bar, as I mentioned, dry bar, but it's a wellness-based brunch. However, we're still going to have a DJ. It's still a cozy, intimate vibe. And it's for those who are tired of like the regular boozy brunch scene in DC.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't want to drink. Sometimes, you may just want a chill spot before you do something else. And it's just a nice feel good, again, cozy vibe for those who love brunch, who want to do something different, but don't want too much chaos and want, just a nice seat at the table for brunch.
Yeah, a cute outdoor event because you know what? I can count on so many times where my friends are like, "Oh, I would love to go here." And then we pull up and there's people throwing up outside and we're like, "Oh no, this isn't the vibe. Let's go, girl." So for you to
Yeah.
create something like that to harness that type of energy, I absolutely love that. And as a marketing person, a marketing operations person, I'm always thinking about creating a persona so that way I can market specifically to that person. So if you had to think like that, who would the ideal person be to attend a Ties Garden event?
Oh, that's a good question. To be honest, I would say my events are for anyone who is looking to, number one, have a good time. Number one, have a deeper connection with yourself. And I will say my primary audience can be from men to women, 25 to 45 years old, sometimes older, sometimes younger as well. However, I do also have a huge vegan community, a wellness foodie community. I've been
Yeah.
vegetarian myself for 20 years, so I have a huge plant-based just persona that is honestly also a huge part of my business too.
Hmm.
And I would say in general, if you're looking for something, different, if you're looking for something that is truly wellness based, a space for you to grow, a space for you to relax, meet new people, it's Ty's Garden is a place for you to feel like you're able to grow physically, mentally, and spiritually, emotionally as well too. Because a lot
Yeah.
of times, I think what being in quarantine taught us, why we have so many different types of social groups now, is like we need community. We need to find something that is powerful beyond just being behind a screen,
Behind the superficial, you that is so true. And the thing that you said that really spoke to me was that intentional connection because I think a lot of times, especially with these networking events, there's no it's not genuine. It's very much surface level. So that really stuck out as something that would, make a Ties Garden event something different than just these regular events. So that's something that I say if you're looking for that, friends, please invest in going to a Ties Garden event.
Please come through. I would love to have you. And I promise, like a lot of people who come to my just like, wow, I met so and so, and I didn't know that I lived in the same neighborhood, or we actually plan on going to the same event in a couple of weeks. Like one thing I also speak about at my speaking engagements as well is just that a lot of times, whether you are at a wellness event or not, you're there for a reason. And I like for
Yeah.
people really understand that, God doesn't place you in certain spaces for no reason.
Hmm.
Even when you're going out, even if you are at brunch, even if you are, walking in the park and you have a conversation, you never know why that person is speaking to you. It could be something small, or it could be like, you know what, a couple years ago we met, but now we're actually, attending the same event together,
I
or
can't tell you how many times that has happened, and that's why they call Baltimore Smalltimore for that very reason. So yes, I completely agree
I
with
believe
you.
it. I believe
Yes.
And that is
And
something that I realized within the past 2 years for sure, especially with curating and planning events. Like, you know what? There are people in your life who you may not think that they're there for a reason, but they really are.
for sure. You never know when you might need to, as my grandmother used to say, pull out your Rolodex. I'm like, Grandma, what is a Rolodex? It's that little thing that it's your contacts book,
No,
essentially.
exactly.
Yes, it's that little thing with, yes. So, and now I find myself, one of my taglines is that I tell people that I am the master networker, or I aspire to be that master networker because I want to have people in my Rolodex that I can call to connect with other people. So if I'm like, I hear you have an idea, girl, I have the business owner that can help you with that. So that's
Telling you.
my truly my goal. And I love spaces like this that can help me add to my Rolodex.
Yeah.
So thank you for curating that space. And you
Yes.
mentioned the beauty or the necessity of partnerships. I heard you say that you had things at a dance studio. I heard you mention that you're partnering with a nonprofit. Can you speak to the value or the necessity of partnerships, especially as an entrepreneur, a Black entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur? Just speak to the value of that and how that's impacted you.
Absolutely. I would say number one, being a community-based organization,
Mhm.
partnerships are so important. And partnerships are also intentional because when you look around, a lot of times we think that we need to go to these major corporations like, okay, I wish I could be sponsored by Nike, or I wish I could be sponsored by Box Water, just a different, brand. But when you really boil down to it, you have a organization or someone who, just got started and with grassroots efforts,
Mhm.
that may be just the space to create, something that your community actually needs, like a food bank or like, give backs, clothes. A lot of people have been doing feminine products for women in prisons and things like
Yes.
that. So those community partnerships are so key. And I will tell you that they have brought it's like an abundance of growth in my business in general, right? Because
Yes.
well, number one, you're connecting with like-minded people. Number one, you guys have the same mission that aligns one way or another. And then
Mhm.
when the power of putting two and two together, it just literally creates something beautiful. So I will say, if you are starting a business, if you are trying to figure out like, okay, I need to figure out what to do next, try partnership.
Yeah.
Partnership, try, something that will allow you to mix your network with another group or different resources and watch how that partnership can grow as long as you guys have the same mission, as long as you guys have the same goal, it'll align one way or another.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I think that that's the one thing that I've tried to help guide my small business clients is just understand the power of bartering and collaborations and partnerships. It is so beneficial. I think when I say partnerships, a lot of times people automatically see dollar signs, but they don't go back to the root of the word, which is partner. And I'm like, that is so crucial, especially because we're all trying to get it out of the mud. We're all trying to, start from the bottom. So sometimes businesses might not have a marketing budget, but we have marketing service or marketing effort. I can shout you out just like you shout me out. So I love that you're speaking to that. And to that point, I'm also a content creator manager. I've also booked talent. So I know that there is the money side of it. Have you gone that route to promote your events? And if so, how did you do that? And what was that process like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say the way that I promote my events, honestly, is through ads, to be honest. I
Yeah.
do a lot of ads through Meta, Facebook,
Mhm.
Instagram. I also have an affiliation with Posh, the app. So I work very closely with the Posh community, and they have also helped me with a partnership, just
Yeah.
promote and expand, spreading the word about how Posh is supporting events in the DMV area and other areas too.
Hmm.
I will say it took me a while to even get comfortable with like paying for ads because I was just like, why do I need to pay for an ad?
Yes,
And
yes.
I was like, why
That's
do I need
speak
to
to
pay
that. Give
for
this, use this like your
an ad?
journal because so many people are so scared to say that. So say it.
Oh, yes. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta pay this amount for an ad. But to be honest, like advertising is key because the more people that at least know about what you're doing is very
Hmm.
important. Yes, you can do word of mouth, which is always good. A lot of people run their business off of word of mouth or only through referrals, which is great. However, when you're doing something in particular, like curating community wellness events, you
Hmm.
want the community to know about the event, right?
Exactly.
So you do have to, invest a portion of what you do have into, you might want to pay $30 to have 2,500 people view your ad. And like, okay, from that 2,500 people, I have 50 new followers that are 50 people that can come to a future event. So I think that people, if you're thinking about, okay, what do I need to do to get more of my presence out on social media or just advertising in different spaces, the best thing about it is just make sure people see you. It's about
Yeah.
visibility.
Visibility. Yeah.
visibility, making sure that people can clearly see what you're doing. And it's also about making sure that people can see your craft, what you're good at.
Mhm.
That's also about, it's like promote yourself, you know? And
Yeah.
that, like I'm about to have a word here.
Uh-oh. Come on,
And
you preaching today. Let's go.
no, because I will tell you, like, it took me such a long time to get out of my phase of like caring what people think, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed to even just post this. I'm embarrassed to
Mhm.
tell myself, but I literally tell you, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. If you don't promote yourself,
Yeah.
nobody is going to promote you because just like she's not even promoting her own stuff. Why
Or
should
they don't even know. Like, so if I didn't know
I?
you were doing that. And so you are really speaking a word, honestly, because I speak to so many entrepreneurs, so many business owners who had these amazing ideas and they feel exactly like you. They're scared. They're like, what if nobody likes it? What if nobody, me, I even feel like that. What if nobody comes? And you know what? There's always one person in your corner watching and rooting for you, even if you don't think that they are, they are. So
I'm
do
gonna
it. Post the picture. That's why some of my captions on my pictures are like, sis, post the picture.
post
And yes,
it.
I'm talking
Yeah.
to you, you know, like,
Post it. It doesn't matter. Somebody, whoever is meant to see it is going to see it, but you're absolutely right. You do have to just get out of that mindset that like, okay, this is embarrassing. I don't know how people are going to perceive this. And I will say, you know, a lot of times, even with events, like I'm expecting 20, 25 people. Sometimes only 5 people show up. It rained that
well,
day.
we
Like
just
coming out in
we
the
pivot.
rain.
It's a pivot. It's an intimate
Exactly.
gathering at that point.
That
Yes.
literally it's literally an intimate gathering. And a lot of times, like those events that were meant to have, you know, those 20 people and only 5 people show up, it was meant to be intimate. It was meant for people to be able to share a little bit more than they would have at a group, at a larger group, you know. It
Yeah.
was meant for a little bit, you know, of a deeper connection because someone just lost a loved one or
Mm.
someone is in a state of grieving or someone is about to, you know, do something really major and they need that community support. So a lot of times, like what I'm learning now, just like, you know what? Whatever is meant to be will
It will
be.
be. Oh, I love that. That's been happening to me so much. So many people have said that this week. So I'm like, I need, this is a mantra for a reason. And you spoke. I recently went to an event hosted by Bubbly TV. I'll have to shout out her event because that's exactly what happened. She was saying, "Oh, we're supposed to have 40 people come, and only 10 of us showed up." But it was exactly what we needed in that moment. It was truly exactly what we needed. So you are right. It's sometimes things happen right on time, and I love that.
And things happen the way that they're supposed to. A lot of times we have to let go of the concept of control and
Hmm.
allow things to literally flow. I'm a huge believer in that too. Like allowing things to actually flow is
Yeah.
important because you will get, you know, get riled up and everything, you know, just to,
Yeah.
you know, stress
Anxious,
out, anxious, all
anxiety. Yeah.
for no
It's
reason
not a fun state to be in at all. It's like my cortisol level is always high. That's not somewhere I want to be in.
at all. I'm telling you, at all.
But another thing that really drew me to you, which I didn't realize, was the comment on your page in your bio that says planting Pilates seeds. And I am a Pilates girly. I love it. I love that so many of my black and brown
I
girlies are
love
really embracing it. I just
that.
need them to make like a Pilates trap class because I'm the girl that likes
Oh,
a little bit of
listen.
ratchet with my
That's
Pilates.
right. I know that's right. Me too. It depends on my mood. Like, you know what? Sometimes I need a little bit energized. Like, I feel
Yes.
up. And then sometimes it's like, okay, I need to calm down. I've been a little stressed. But then,
Yes.
to be honest, the upbeat stuff relieves stress for me. And then also the calm relieves stress for me too.
Yes, but talk about your Pilates journey and how you're weaving that. And I know I feel like we talked about you incorporating some Pilates events into Ty's Garden, but I would love that. So talk about your journey to Pilates.
Yeah, so I originally started my Pilates journey actually this past November, so November 2024. And I go back to this because I mentioned this earlier. I felt like something was missing. So a lot of times as you go throughout your journey of having a business in general, you're going to feel like, okay, what am I going to do next? You know, it's just like, I'm doing this. I need something different. What exactly am I going to do next? So I was like, I sat with myself. I was just like, I still need a service element, you know, I still need
Yeah.
to help me give back in a way to help people feel good and to help people grow, right? So
Hmm.
I went back and I thought about it. I was just like, when I felt my best self, I was doing Pilates. So
Yes.
when I felt strong, when I just felt really confident, I was doing Pilates. And
Mm.
I went on to look into getting the certification. And I told myself, I was just like, you know what? Let me really try to pursue this and loop it in with Ty's Garden. So ever since then, I did the training. I'm still in training. It's a long process, but
I'm sure.
Pilates community is amazing. Like it has truly allowed me to just gain another community in that space, you know?
Yeah.
The whether it's men or women, people who are seasoned, who have been teaching Pilates for 20 years, for
Mhm.
people who literally just got their certification within the past couple of months, like the Pilates community is truly huge.
I
And
so admire that. It's like you find all of these passions that you've sort of kind of found a way to extend. It's like you love the wellness aspects from Ty's Garden. You found a way to weave other things into. I just love that. And I admire people who are able to do that and execute because it is really hard or well, I would say it's easy to write things down, but to execute them and follow through is another thing. So you're doing it. You're doing it.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes. So, with that, what role would you say that self care plays, whether it's in your events, in your own personal life, and how do you weave that in? What do you do to make sure
Yeah.
that you're putting yourself first as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. And that is a good question because I'm telling you, some days I'm just like, oh, this is too much. But I will say that self-care, and I feel like I'm hesitant always answering this question because there's a self-care era, a phase right now. Everyone's talking about self,
Yes.
but I always try to remind people that self-care is literally what you define it as and what you make it.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
what society is telling you, oh, you need to be in Pilates and you need to be a Pilates girly to, say that you're a self-care girl. No, self-care could literally mean taking a walk for 10 minutes down the street to allow yourself to clear your mind. Self-care,
Mhm.
turning your shower routine into an actual spa moment, like self-care could mean, making that process a little bit longer to give yourself what you need in that moment. So self-care is literally having a check-in with yourself,
Mhm.
like, I'm a little stressed right now. I have an attitude but I don't want to talk about it. But you know what? Maybe I'll talk about it once I clear my mind a little bit. That is what self-care is. And as long as you are having those self check-ins, I
Yeah.
self check-ins with self-care. Once you check in with yourself, you're able to care for yourself.
I
So it's
love that.
extremely important, and
Yeah.
don't allow society to tell you that, oh, you got to go to the spa. You need to do a spa day every other week. You need to, get your nails, your hair done. If you're not feeling beautiful, maybe you should try to do something with your hair or try something different, only
Yeah.
you know what you need. So
Yeah.
that is how I define self-care, even for myself. Like life is hard, it's a lot going on in the world. And you do have to know what you can direct your energy towards, what you can
Mhm.
take, what information you're taking in. And it's just important to really just, have grace with yourself and
Oh, I
also,
love that. I have grace.
yeah,
Ooh.
grace for sure. To say,
Yeah.
but I don't have it all together these 2 days, but let me try again on Friday.
You seem so grounded, and I love that, especially because you have so much going on. And at Operations Unfiltered, we have to get to the nitty-gritty of it. We like ensuring that we can equip our listeners with the right people, processes, and tools. Now, you've told us a little bit about your process. Now, tell us a little bit about the tools. Now, I've come across your ads, and they are the most aesthetically pleasing
Thank
ads I've ever seen. What
you.
tools, technology do you use to create your content, to manage your life? Give me all the tea.
Okay, I will give you the
No pun
tea.
intended.
No, I know that's right. So, number one, Notion app is how I stay organized. Notion
Okay.
is like a journal. It's like a digital journal. It has a calendar. I can just That's where I call myself brain dumping, right?
Yeah.
So I will brain dump and organize a lot of my ideas and concepts and strategic planning on Notion. And they have a
Mhm.
Notion app, and they do also even have templates for you to follow and, make up in your app or whatever. But I love Notion. I've been using Notion since 2020. So yeah, I would say that's
Wow.
my
Oh,
go.
you are a Notion
I'm
girly.
a
I
Notion
use
girly.
Notion too. I think my issue is that I try to adapt to whatever my client uses. So I can never be fully married
Okay.
to
So,
anything. Yeah, but I like Notion. I do have a workspace.
mhm.
I would say I'm sometimes Notion girly.
Definitely. And like I would say the way that I even organize it is not even too crazy. I have like personal, and when I mean personal is my personal brand. So Tyra Monet is my personal brand. And
Yeah,
Ty's Garden is my business. And then I also even have like a space for professional. I do have a 9 to 5. So I do have certain things or certain goals I need to hit for my marks for my professional career that, you should have goals everywhere. You should have goals personally. You should have
yeah,
self, you should have goals for your business. So that's how I like to organize my Notion spaces and, like I said, just brain dump. And then the way that I actually organize all of my documents is Google Doc.
of course.
Easy to use and pull up. I have all my files and everything there, Google Drive, things like that.
Hmm.
My to-do list is in my reminders app. So
Yeah.
every time I need to do something, I put it in my reminders app in my to-do list. So I just go, I'm like, okay, this is unchecked, this is unchecked, this is unchecked. So let me do this. And even like if I'm on the phone with someone, okay, let me just put it in here because that way it just stops me from forgetting. And then,
Hmm.
and I forget things all the time. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't write this down, so I forgot. Or I do sometimes take mental notes too. So I would say definitely a to-do list keeps me honest for sure.
Yeah.
And
I can't tell you how many mental tabs I have open at one time.
that's what I'm
That's why I'm
telling
like, yeah. So sometimes I resort back to being a good old-fashioned pen and paper type of girl because I need to physically cross it
you.
off.
That too. And a lot of times, even that's a really good point because a lot of times when I do have so many things or so many tabs open in my mind, I need to just write. Like
Yes.
I literally, like I lie to you not, I'll put at the top of my paper, brain dump.
Yes.
Everything that is on my mind,
The best
on
time
my
of the day.
like everything that is on my mind, I'm just like, just write everything down. Then you'll feel better. At least that way I can see it and categorize it.
Exactly.
Sometimes I would do that, to be honest. I don't do that every single day. I do it maybe like once a week or when
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Honestly, it's so freeing. And I
yes,
didn't realize how much stuff I am holding in my head. So those sessions are needed. Now,
so
are you a completely solopreneur or do you have a team?
I am a
What?
solopreneur. Like this is all me.
Girl, do you ever have moments where you looking at the mirror, you like, not I'm the help too. I gotta do everything.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I gotta figure it out. Just like because
Yeah, we're gonna thug it out.
I'm just like, how am I doing this? And then some people were just like, Tyra, how are you doing all this? I'm just like, I don't really know.
I think when you're driven by something that truly fuels you, it doesn't really feel like work. Like
Yes,
people
exactly.
always ask me, how do you churn out these podcasts or how do you have these ideas? I'm like, it truly doesn't feel like work. I just like running my mouth, honestly. Like it
Hello.
really is. So I
And
love
it's
that. And
fun. Absolutely. It's just fun too. It allows you to, for me, myself, it allows me to be creative. So on my creative side, I've been using Canva, I lie to you not, for like 15 years now. Or whoever old Canva is, that's how long I've been using Canva. So
so
Canva,
you're a Canva pro
I'm
pro.
like Canva Pro, like Canva everything for sure.
I can tell like I said, your graphics. I'm like, no, somebody has to hire her as a graphic designer because it's giving.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much. Yeah, I make all of my flyers. I don't have a graphic designer. Look, I saw this TikTok or something or this video, and it was this girl who's doing content and just like, introduce your team. It was her, graphic designer, CEO,
Everybody, HR.
everybody, HR. It was all her. And I was just like, yep, I resonate with that well.
Exactly. And that's why I'm so happy that you're prioritizing self-care in whatever form that looks like, and you're putting it into your events. So not only are you living it, you're actually practicing what you preach. So I'm here
Absolutely.
for it. What are your long-term goals for Ty's Garden?
My long-term goals, that's a great question. I want to expand. I think
Mm.
my first step with having a event outside of DMV, is my first, getting my foot out there because it's always scary doing something for the first
It's
time.
terrifying.
Terrifying. So I definitely want to expand. I want Ty's Garden to be able to reach, a community not only here in the DMV, but nationwide, even internationally, to be honest.
Mm.
Want my brand to just be the go-to space for wellness and community. I want
Mhm.
to continue having partnerships in different, regions, different areas. I also, even with my Pilates as well, I want to be able to be in just different spaces, especially for people who need them,
Yeah.
not have it as, seen as such a luxury because I think what a lot of Black women are doing with Pilates is it's helping us realize that you don't have to be in luxury to be able to feel like you afford Pilates, or Pilates is, only for people who can afford it, or it's a luxury
Mhm.
service. No, Pilates really is a practice that allows you to have a deeper connection with your body. It's
Yes.
your core. It literally allows you to do this. Is how I explain. I was like, Pilates allows you to do everything better, literally from
Mm.
to running to walking to having correct posture. It just makes you stronger mentally and physically. So it's not.
I completely agree. I had a baby 3 years ago and I started doing Pilates and my core was horrible. After a year of doing Pilates, I feel the strongest that I've ever felt. So I can it truly you have to sometimes some of those moves, some of those foot and strap moves
Yes.
that they have us do, I'm
Absolutely.
like praying through them. I'm like, there's no way I can get through this. But the fact that I've done it, I've been walking out feeling like Bambi, but that is it's like
No.
it unlocks a new level of strength. So yeah, I totally get it. And I guess the last piece is if you could sum it up in one word, how would you want someone using that one word to feel when they leave one of your Ties Garden events?
Good question. Love.
Ooh, okay.
Um,
We need a
Love.
lot of that in this
Yeah,
current climate.
absolutely. Love, because I always think that love is just one of the highest acts and just evolution of self.
Mm,
Love is all around us. We just have to pay attention to it a little bit more, you know?
yeah. Focus on those, what did you say? Those intentional connections. You
Yes, love
said.
is all around us. We just have to focus on it more, especially in this world now. And even just personally, love is expendable to even someone I just met. Like, thank you for even just coming to one of my events. Thank you for even
Mhm.
sharing a little bit of who you are. Because a lot of times everyone is dealing with something, even for myself, dealing with something you have no idea what they're dealing with.
Yeah. My grandma always used to say that you need to smile. She would always say, fix your face first. She was like, you
Yeah.
never know what someone's going through or how that one smile could impact them. So you are definitely correct. And I hope that anyone who attends this event will feel that way. And I can't wait to attend one. Hopefully I can go to one in May. So that way I can feel the love because the energy you exude from social to like even on the call today, I truly feel that. So I'm excited to see what's next for you. And how can everybody keep up? What's next? What events you have for May? I know you mentioned rooted in friendship, but give us all the tea.
Yes,
Again,
absolutely.
no pun intended.
Yes, so moving forward, yes, you can catch Rooted in Friendship. Philly again is tomorrow. And the next one is actually going to be in Baltimore on May 17th. So that is Rooted in Friendship Baltimore. And then the next one for Rooted in Friendship is a series will be in DC, and that is to be announced.
Okay.
Outside of
Perfect.
that, yeah, outside of that, you can catch the Dry Vegan Brunch every fourth Sunday in DC at Binge Bar. I will be there along with partnering with a talent in the city, DJ, musician, as well as a mocktail brand, a community mocktail brand that is primarily based in the DMV. So that is also a really good community-based event. Outside of that, I do have pages in Pilates coming up with a good friend of mine. She is a therapist, so we'll be doing some intentional journaling sessions and Pilates.
Oh, and keep me posted. I
Yes,
cannot
yes,
wait.
that's and yeah, just more of these spaces in the city and surrounding areas. And I'm really excited because I want to continue to branch out and, like I just said earlier, continue to partner with different organizations that have a mission that aligns with mine, and also continue to, even though I've shared with this someone, provide services that are free too, because I think that is what we need a little bit more of in this season. So definitely more free opportunities for people to enjoy wellness.
Yeah, I love that, and thank you for creating those space. How can people follow along on socials? What's your website? How can they buy the tea? Because I'm sure I've said it enough. They need to get some tea.
Yeah, so you can follow my business page at Ty's Garden, one word. TikTok is actually Ty's.garden.
Okay.
Website is www.tysgarden.co. And my personal page is It's Tyra Monet on Instagram and actually all platforms.
Oh, yes. Well, tap in, tune in, make sure you go to some of these events, feel the love, and report back. I know you will have an amazing time. Thank you so much for today. This is amazing.
This was awesome. I really enjoyed this chat.